Righteous Muffin, what's up?
Yes, sir. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good, what's up?
Hey, so question for you: do you believe in, I guess race realism? Do you believe there are differences between the races?
Of course there are, sure.
Okay. Um, do you believe that America should be a white nation?
I mean, we might want or desire certain things, but I don't know if that's necessarily realistic. I mean, we're already
No,
like
well, no, no. Well,
decades
I'm asking.
into. Why are you
No, no.
interrupting me? You're not
Well,
going to
I
let me answer my
understand.
question. We're already decades into like what, maybe even 100 years into unlimited immigration almost.
Okay. Um, do you think that America should be a white nation?
I don't know how realistic that is, but I think
Sure, sure. I
European
mean,
nations and people groups, right, should have already had borders and limitations even on legal migration, so that all the people groups could maintain who they were and not be destroyed from without.
okay. So, all right. I mean, you didn't really directly answer my question,
I
so I
did
guess I'll
though. I
go.
literally answered your question. So what are you trying to trick me on? What,
I'm
get
not.
your
No, no,
argument.
no. I'm not trying to trick you
How
on
did I
anything,
not answer
sir.
your question?
And, well, I asked you if you think that America should be a white nation. You said I don't think it's realistic. That's not answering the question.
It
I
is
understand. I understand. I
because when
understand.
you
I
say
understand what I
it's a
understand what you
trick,
said.
it's a trick question
It's
because
it's not.
it is
It's
a
not.
trick question.
Jay. I'm just trying to figure out your position because honestly, I haven't listened to you that
I
much.
literally just answered you with the European nations statement.
Okay, so you do believe there should be a majority white nation. How about that?
Well, talking about what should be the case is ambiguous given where we are. But I just said twice that 100 years ago they should have limited the legal immigration.
Okay, fair enough. So then, I guess out of curiosity, and I believe you're Orthodox. So, and obviously, we have Protestants and Catholics to contend with. Um, what is it within Christianity? And obviously, you're Orthodox. So within the Orthodox perspective of Christianity, that talks about being able to keep a nation racially homogenous. I was just curious about that.
There is discussions of that, and even up into modernity. So yes, that does exist.
Okay, could you give me some of those examples? I was actually curious. I really because I don't know them.
I mean, the recent Russian church statement on church and state says that people have a right to maintain their people group and their identity.
Okay, and then I guess when it comes to the Hitler thing,
Hmm.
I mean, when obviously I really don't know your position on this, but when it seemed that you know Hitler was basically trying to keep every country racially homogenous and stamp out Jewish communism, and it looks like since World War II, basically every white Western country has become nothing but closer and closer to Jewish
Yeah.
communism. So
How come?
I was just
How
curious.
come Hitler aided in the support for the nation state of Israel?
Well, because he didn't actually want to um, delete all the Jews. He just wanted them out of his country.
Hmm. So, and the way to do that was to establish their own nation state with its own criminal syndicate powers, irrespective of outside checks and balances. So, in other words,
Well,
the way to stop Jewish communism is to give Jews a nation state with state power.
no, 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 no,
Oh, but
no,
wait a
no,
minute,
no,
what
no.
was it?
Hold
Was
on, hold
Israel
on.
founded as a
Well,
socialist state? You don't know?
As a socialist state?
Uh-huh. You know what a kibbutz is?
Mm, no, no, no. I'm not
You
too.
don't know
I'm
what a
not too.
kibbutz is?
I semi do, but like
Which is
Jay, I'm
what?
not trying to.
What's a kibbutz?
I mean, look, I'm
You don't know.
very, very broad.
Okay.
Okay, okay, Jay. No, no, I don't.
Okay. So it's a commune, right? So
Okay, so communism.
it's a socialist government that was set up in Israel with socialist
Oh,
communes
oh,
called kibbutzes. And that was the
okay,
idea
cool.
that
So, so, so.
Moses Hess and Lord Rothschild had in the 1800s to set that up.
Mhm.
So Hitler helps with that. I'm trying to figure out how Hitler was helping everybody out here with this. How was he helping stamping out Jewish communism when Hitler was aiding the Rothschilds in their project for Israel?
Well, Russia is a much bigger country, and so then if you could take those group of people and localize them into a much smaller area,
Where
they're
they have
much easier to
their
contain.
own state.
I mean, Jay, I mean, you asked me not to cut you off, and I've been, I've been trying to do my best here. But I mean, if you take
So
a
Hitler
group, if
helps
you,
with the Rothschild plan to set up a state power to displace the Palestinians, but Hitler is a hero. I'm trying to understand, but he aided the Jewish communists that you were saying needed to be stamped out.
okay, so first of all, he wasn't aiding them. He wasn't aiding the Jewish communists from Russia. He was trying to get the Jews out of his country.
I'm talking about his country and the nation state of Israel, which is not just
Okay.
from it's not just from Germany, that's from everywhere.
Right. So, but then here's the thing is
How is
like
he
okay,
look, you're avoiding the
okay,
question.
no, no,
You said
hang
he
on.
was going to
We hang,
stamp out you said he was going to stamp out Jewish communism, and I just showed you that he's doing their plan by setting up a Jewish communist state. Help me understand that.
right. So as I've tried to say, if you'll let me finish, moving them from a larger country such as Germany or Russia or any of the other larger nation states at that time to a much, much, much smaller land region such as Israel, Palestine.
So they get their own state, right?
It is it okay. Okay,
Okay, all right. So now you
Are
just repeat my
Jay
name.
Jay?
All right,
No, no.
yeah.